Okay. Hi, I'm Rob with Guys, Games, and Beer.
And I'm Mel with Guys, Games, and Beer.
It's worked great.
And we're obviously not drunk enough. But we're here with.
I'm Tawny P. Thompson from Theater of the Mind Players.
And I'm Ethan Eichstedt Anderson from Theater of the Mind Players, trying to get drunk enough.
Thank you. So glad to have you here.
Thank
Tell
you
us
so much for
about what
having us.
you are doing at GameholeCon.
Yeah, so we like to call ourselves the Friendly Local Actual Play Show. We're on both YouTube and podcast, wherever you like to get your podcast.
Links will be below. Go on.
Links below. And we play all of your favorite games that are not Dungeons and Dragons, all of your favorite TTRPGs. So this year at GameholeCon, we have been playing The Extraordinary Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
It's great for the show because it is a drinking
It
show.
is a drinking
It's
show.
drinking RPG.
Nice.
The basic rules are you're either talking or drinking when it's your turn. So if you need to stop to think, that means you're drinking.
It's the ultimate game of bullshit storytelling, which is great.
Okay.
I should have asked if we could swear on your show.
You absolutely can.
Okay,
Okay.
good. And that was exciting. We raised $1,500 for the Humane Society
Absolutely
down south.
fantastic.
So that's
Yeah.
awesome. And then we just got done playing a game of Paranoia, which is a super fun.
It's a game where everything's perfect
Yeah.
in hyper future.
End stage capitalism.
Yeah.
I have
How
heard
does
of the
that
game.
work?
You play the grunts of the world who have to bend to the will of friend computer, and if you don't, you get
And-
killed and your clone takes over.
Yeah. So everything is perfect at all times, and if it's not, you die.
Yes.
Oh, pretty much like real life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
To be
exactly.
fair,
Yeah.
yeah. That's quite a bit. So, talk a little bit about what you are all about.
Yeah, so really our main goal is to play all of the games that aren't Dungeons and Dragons. Right now we are
Highlight
playing
the weird stuff.
Highlight the weird stuff. And we usually play so we release 1 hour episodes every Friday, and
Okay.
we do 18 sessions of each game that get released on Fridays. Right now we're
And then
doing
normally in between those, we'll do like a
Like a
one or
one
two
shot.
session period, one shot, and go back to a longer one.
Okay.
like right now we're playing Star Trek Adventures, the
Okay.
second edition,
second
which is
edition.
super
Right.
exciting.
Hasn't come out yet, so if you want a preview of it,
Go watch
the
our show.
Wow.
We also just got done playing Vampire the Masquerade,
Yeah.
V5, which was
Mhm.
awesome, 10 out of
Yeah.
10.
Wow.
yeah.
I have to
Popular
go
with
back and
this
look at
group.
that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounds cool.
Yeah.
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 So,
But those are actually probably the two most common
common,
games
like
we've
normal
played.
games.
We've gone a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah, Over the Edge was
Yeah,
a good
Over the Edge
time.
was
That was a
great.
little strange.
How long have you guys been doing this?
6 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of free league stuff.
Yeah.
Played a lot of free league.
yes.
Okay.
Actually, the show started, it was supposed to be a one-off
Mm-hmm.
thing for a friend who was opening a nerd bar downtown Milwaukee. And
Okay.
we got together to live stream from their bar.
We were playing
Um,
Feng Shui 2.
Feng Shui too. The audio quality was horrendous. We had a Yeti mic in the middle
Yeah.
of this table at the bar, and it's only available for our patrons anymore because it's so
it's
bad.
so bad we pulled
But
it off
like
the air.
we had people stop by the table and be like, "What are you guys doing? What's this game?" And we're like, we're actually live streaming right now. If you could but we had such a good time that we decided to
Yeah,
go legit.
keep going.
Yeah.
So is it just the two of you, or do you have how many
Yeah,
people
we've
are
got
part of your players?
we
There's-
have
There's normally the GM and 4 to 6 players, depending on what show
On
we're
the
doing.
game.
and
Yeah.
amount of people, yeah.
but
and-
our core group is kind of 4 players, our GM and our Lord of the Board, who
Lord
runs
of
all
the
of our
Probably
stuff.
have one
Board.
guest person that switches in and out. Right now, we have Jenny Higgins, who's been freaking amazing and basically slowly becoming a permanent staple.
And then we just had Jordan Fishburne walk past a minute ago. Sarah Babe from Encounter Party, if you guys
Yep.
have heard of that. That's a 5e actual play. And then Rob Wieland is our DM, and Lord of the Board, Brad Davies.
Lord of the Board. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Like the director.
Exactly,
essentially.
exactly.
He does all our behind the scenes work.
Do they have? Is it hard to? Live action board gaming. What are your biggest challenges and hurdles that you have to overcome when you're presenting a game like that?
I would say, we do 4-hour sessions every other
There
Tuesday.
you go. Thank you, Drunken Larry. Two though for the
Thank you.
win.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
think,
I'm gonna drink.
we record 4-hour sessions every other Tuesday.
To kind of jump in here while Tawny's
Promo.
busy with the most important part of this interview,
That was
Uh,
a pro move,
yeah.
for real.
probably the hardest part is keeping momentum. Because so many times when you're at
Yeah.
a table, at a game, like you have to stop and look up rules,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
basically you just hit that weird lull point in the middle of the game where you start a side conversation
You
rather
know,
than
like
actually
10
play.
p.m.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. And so trying to make it flow properly
there.
with all the pauses and that kind of thing.
And I think on top of that, like, we are all really good friends. So sometimes you get riffing, and then Lord of the Board Brad is like, guys, play the
He
game.
basically has a shot collar for us when we start going too far off to like buzz us back in place.
Exactly. So
love
staying
that.
on for
Yeah.
4 hours,
Yeah.
you know.
We do tend to record for about an hour, then take a 10 to 15 minute break, and record an hour, and then 10 15 break,
Okay.
record an hour, as a way to talk off camera all the weird shit that we wanted
Yep.
to talk on camera.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
But maybe the other thing is like just kind of rolling with the punches
Yeah.
sometimes. At this point, we've played enough games and we've built enough characters that you try not to be too precious about them. But early on, I had a hard time letting
Oh, yeah,
go
you
of
did.
my characters, like when they would die or like
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Too. Like,
Or
there's
just
a
when-
lot of games where your character's
Yeah.
gone.
exactly.
That's it. You're done.
Or when we're planning on doing a short series and that series ends,
Yeah.
and like you don't feel resolved yet
Yes.
about it.
I have written
Yeah,
short
that's a
stories
Yeah.
based on my
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
because I have to like finish it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I
Um,
like that.
Or like we played Delta Green and
We played a lot of Delta Green.
fucked up things happen in Delta Green, and your characters come out the other side like a meat grinder. And so I think my character is the only one that's still alive
Yes,
from our
but
first
you
season.
are a weird mutant.
I'm a
now.
weird mutant
that-
with like
Yeah.
it's messed up. I hope we come back for another season of that
Yeah.
one.
So, best place to start.
Like if someone wanted to start their own
Yeah,
AP.
they want, no. Best place to start. They want to start listening to you.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
I would probably either
Delta
if
Green?
there's a game you're interested in, try to look it up on see if we have it. Because most people start by checking us out to learn the rules and then get stuck. But yeah, basically, if you want a longer series, Delta Green is our longest running one that we come back to about every 2 seasons. We'll do
Okay.
a run of it.
Yeah, I
And
never
then-
thought it. That would be a
Mhm.
really cool way to, like, Larry just looked up a game that we
Yeah.
Yeah.
thought about playing, and we started reading the rules, realized we were too drunk. He's like, you know
Watch
what,
a
I'll
video."
watch a playthrough.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of rather watch
There you
your playthrough. It'd be kind of more entertaining in a way. Do you ever, like, let's say our group said, we want to learn how to do this. We want to play a game live like this. Do you ever have people come to you and say, teach us how to do this? Or,
Our
or
GM Rob has
orchestrate
done
us
that.
doing that? Yeah.
Our GM Rob has done that in the past
Mhm.
Yeah, we
a few
all-
times.
We've done some panels at different conventions where it's like how to start, doing a live stream, that kind of stuff. Those went over pretty good,
hmm
but
Then COVID
basically,
happened. And
Yeah, COVID happened. We haven't done it since.
Yeah.
But it's really about once you have the equipment, just kind of starting and feeling what's wrong afterward.
Right.
There's a lot of trial and error for us to actually get something that we thought was good,
We've gone through so many different kinds of microphones.
and so many different
These are great
styles of
ones.
play. Because
Yeah,
like
that
you'll
too.
play for a while and it feels really fun at the table. And you go back and listen, and you realize without the table interactions and all that kind of stuff, it seems like it's missing something.
Ah,
And so you kind of
Okay.
like, not that we plan out what we're gonna do, but lots of time if there's a major story event, we'll discuss ahead of time, being like,
Mhm.
how do we feel about doing it? And we might change it live at the table if things are happening.
mhm.
But
Or like Rob will message us sometimes like, I am notorious for having romantic relationships in our games, and it's usually Rob playing the character that I'm like flirting with. But if he's gonna like kill my romantic partner in a game, he's gonna message me and be like, hey, is this cool? Can we do this? And I'm like, let's go. We ball.
I'll
Yeah.
find somebody else.
And
That's
Yeah.
fine.
it
I'll
happens
move
a
on.
lot where like one character will have information other ones won't from earlier discussions as a way to not having that weird pause
Yeah.
spot where you try to figure out what your thoughts are about it,
Yeah, for sure.
that kind of stuff, just to play through it
So you
out
do
those awkward pauses.
Star Trek Adventures?
Yep.
Yes.
So do you have people who are developing RPGs come to you and say, do a live
Yes.
on mine? Because I
Yeah.
want to see how you play with it and
Yeah.
how the rules
Yeah,
go.
the start, it was very much like us reaching out to people, being like, hey, we're interested in playing. And
Mhm.
if they said, we don't care, we would play it anyway.
hmm
And then it slowly has turned into, it's rare when we don't get offers now.
Okay.
Which is really nice.
That's very cool.
Have you ever had a developer reach out to you and say, you're playing this completely wrong?
No.
No.
That's awesome.
We
Yeah,
have had like
Plenty of fans.
You have a good.
we have had like some comments on
Yeah.
our YouTube be like, "Why is your spell save so low? It should be this plus this plus this." And we look at it and we go, "Yep, whoops."
Yeah.
But
Lots of angry fans.
we already
for us
did it. It's too late.
cutting things
Do you add
easier.
graphics so you can see kind of so people watching you can kind of know what you're playing with?
Yeah. Certain games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If that's necessary,
Okay.
yes. But we do tend to stick to the theater of the mind style. But there are certain
Yeah, we
games
basically
where
have
we've
different
got
overlays where our basic overlay is the GM is in one screen up top, and then the two sides of the table, because we are playing live at a table, are on either side, and so the upper corners will basically have spots where you can put like different maps or
Mhm.
different information, or if we get something, there might be a token that pops up there, and that
and
kind
Brad
of
does
stuff.
all of that, and he's
Yeah.
very, very good at it.
Yeah, our Lord of the Boards.
Yeah.
Have you been to other cons doing this?
Um, we used to go to more of them.
Yes.
We used to go to
Nexus.
Nexus. We haven't been to Nexus in a
No,
minute.
it's been a while.
Yeah, no, really, Gamehole is like our home con, I
Yeah.
would say.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good home
It
con.
is.
But Gary Con.
Oh yeah, we do usually
Yeah.
go to GaryCon.
Perfect.
But yeah.
GaryCon is so much more D&D based though, so we have to like temper ourselves a little bit.
No doubt.
Yep.
It is true.
Hardest thing about starting a new. We do get a lot of developers on
Yeah.
this channel.
Absolutely.
So hardest thing about starting up.
I think kind of knowing what equipment you need.
And finding your audience,
Yeah.
I think, was really, really a struggle for us in the first place because, like, okay, we're nerds and we hang out with nerds, but that's, kind of a small, group of people to say, like, hey, watch our show. And then, like, we have friends who are like, sorry, I can't watch your show because your voice is in my head and I can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay,
It
cool, I guess
seems like
that's
the
fair.
closer
Like,
the friend, the less likely they are to
Yeah.
actually watch it.
But I think finding the audience and then building up the equipment. I mean, it's not free, it's not cheap. And like I said, we started with one just like little Yeti microphone in the middle of the table for 7 people.
We
And,
literally went back to it.
Yeah.
We literally just said, screw this. It doesn't sound right to us. And
Fair.
Yeah.
We had like anybody who was further from the microphone, it got like really weird and whatever. And then
We got pretty good at audio manipulation to make it sound better, but like it just
yeah,
we now run with everyone with their individual mic.
yep,
He's,
But, like-
he's our main producer.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is doing
I
heavy
think it's
size right
great
now.
money, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different manipulation
Yeah.
software.
For real.
yeah.
If you want, I can run you through it. I tend to run our stuff.
That'd
too.
be awesome. Yeah.
we basically Brad does all of the video stuff, and then when he's finished with that and does all the cuts and all the edits and that kind of stuff, he'll then send it to me, and I'll do all the audio cleanup and add any background music that might be necessary or sound effects, and then send it back to him where he'll remerge,
Okay.
the audio and the video, and then we'll release a separate podcast with that audio that was cut up with
Okay.
that
cool.
kind of stuff.
Awesome. Larry wants to ask a question.
Hi. Yeah.
So, a couple things. So, and you may have covered this already because I was on a run.
Fair.
So,
Thank you for
and
Yep.
so, you're doing a live entertainment, right? And so, but you're also doing it with a large group. And one of the things we've struggled with over the years is if you're not actively part of the exact moment, sometimes the other group decides it's doing its own thing. So do you fight with that, and how do you handle it?
That's kind of the Brad shot collar that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I do like the shock collar
Yeah.
idea. I might get that for some members. of the
Yeah, but
We used to be worse
no.
about
We used to
that.
be really bad about it, but basically we talked it over and gave our Lord of the Board producer permission to make anytime there's too much crosstalk, he stops everything.
Yep.
And then basically pulls us completely out and is like, restart whatever you were doing because I'm picking up too much.
I will also say,
we
like,
used to do pass the talk, where
Mhm.
we used to
There
have
you go.
we used to have a cartridge, and if you were
holding it.
talking, you
The talking
you had to
stick,
hold
if
it.
you will.
Yeah, to have it. Yeah.
I will also say we have like quarterly business meetings because because there are times when I'm like, we'll listen back to the show and
You
be
see our
like,
problems, by the
hey.
way. I just
this thing keeps happening. We need to stop doing that thing. So we
Yeah.
have these meetings to like, hey guys, we got to pull this back.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm
10 years
still-
straight, there has been crosstalk meetings.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
those guys
Yeah.
are
You know, not everyone understands the difference between interrupting and crosstalk.
Yeah.
So there's
They are two different
there's
things.
talking over somebody on topic,
And then there's leaning over me like, "Hey,
and
man,
then
don't
be
do
like,
that."
"Hey man, what are you doing Saturday night?" You know?
But even talking over someone on topic, if it's too much,
No,
you lose
it's-
story.
It's
So
still
it's-
not
yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's still
yeah.
not good, but at least it's on topic.
Oh,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, so then the other challenge we have with I don't know, big podcast or whatever. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. We drink a lot. That's another
Yeah,
challenge.
that is
And,
another challenge.
we lose our train of thought
Fair,
sometimes,
fair.
you know.
And
So-
we're old.
and we're-
Old
and
really
we're-
does not help you
and
at
we're
all.
old.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. So it's doing things. So a lot of our interviews have been about products that have been created, right? So and great products, right? You know, so a book on a module or what you know, some board game or something, video game, whatever word it's talking about. But this is a live entertainment moment, and I think the challenges are a lot different and a lot. Yeah, I've heard, and I only came up a little bit, and I heard you talk about equipment,
Yeah.
concerns about equipment.
Yep.
None of the other interviews have concerns about equipment, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just such a different idea and medium, right? You know,
We actually had a full episode get lost because the audio just wasn't recording and somehow it didn't like come through and we got back and
Feel
had
like
to
that's
like
And it definitely
happened.
Literally the last episode. Actually.
so there's a lost
us,
episode of
it was in the
what
middle
was
of
that
a
game?
story too, like
Yeah,
a story
yeah,
arc.
yeah.
So like we had to go back and try to figure out what beats it was,
Yeah.
and like so it fit in with the one behind it because like
Yeah.
we recorded the next episode after before we realized
I
it.
don't remember what show that
I
was.
don't remember either, but we had to like try to fill in the gaps
Yeah,
in a way that made sense.
it was weird.
That is like one of the roughest things when you have an episode that's like really good.
Yep.
And the audio just murders.
Mhm.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
just like, so-
That's like
so
was
we've
it
been-
3
we
years
haven't-
ago? 3 years
Oh,
ago
really?
here we recorded
Oh,
the
literally
Alien
on
RPG.
Tuesday. We had
Oh,
that
no.
episode. We were trying new equipment.
Yeah.
Trying new equipment is
Yeah.
always the devil.
Yep.
And even if you test it alone,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
it is something that it
Then you get
doesn't
everyone in the
do
room
the
and-
same thing as
Yeah.
when you've got like 6
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's even like 3 years ago. We recorded here. We recorded the Alien RPG from Free League, and Matt Lillard sat at the table with us, which was so badass. The audio on that is horrendous.
I will also say that was one of Game Holes Con
Yeah.
earliest audience streaming,
Yeah.
and they literally threw us in the back of one of the just open table rooms where
So
everyone
there
else
were
was
other
playing
people
games,
gaming. Yeah.
and there was just no way to get a good audio quality.
very
not do it
directional
again.
mics.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
So-
these help greatly.
So I remember what I was going to ask you. So for you guys, you're doing an RPG, right? And so spontaneousness and direction and stuff is obviously very important.
Mhm.
But you also seem like a group that, I mean, you have meetings, and so
That's-
I
that's-
mean,
that's
me,
all her.
all me.
So do you then do some light scripting, like outlining?
Not really. Other than like if Rob is gonna give us some really big character beats and like kill a character on us or something, he checks to make sure that we're gonna be okay with
Yeah,
that.
Rob
because
does
we
that.
do.
Yeah, you don't follow.
I've
the
been
script at
killed
all.
off so many times.
I
um,
killed Larry like at least 20 times.
But
Yeah.
like, you know, you do get attached to your characters, and we do have, you know, deep, intense moments on the show pretty regularly. And so he'll check in that session and be like, hey, are we still okay to do this? I have a backup plan just in case. Like, are you feeling okay about this? And it's like, yeah, let's go. Like, I have the emotional energy for this.
And-
that's about as far as we script anything.
Oh, okay,
So-
all right. So
sometimes-
it's pretty raw.
Yeah, depending on the show, we could sometimes we also do this point where like, okay, so this episode we're going to focus on your backstory. So just get ready for that. If you
Mhm.
have any things you're still undecided about, kind
Wow.
of solidify
Wow.
those because sometimes you're just never you kind of play it at the table, make up backstory as you go.
Yeah.
But it's good to know like this one's going to be more you focused. So make sure you're prepped
Right.
on your personal information.
I know. I have questions. I have questions. So so yeah, one more question. So, anybody in the group do any improvisation training or anything like that?
three of us come from theater backgrounds. I do still perform and I fight direct on the side for funsies. And then Sarah and Rob both studied theater a little bit. You and Jordan not as much, but you did theater like, in high school and a little bit.
I
like,
did a few plays, realized I enjoy back the stage more than on
Sure.
the stage.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I hate live person performance with a like
Baron Munchausen is like your own personal hell.
I do Baron every year, and I have to be drunk before I get up there because I
Okay.
literally can't. I clam up.
Character to
Like,
be drunk for,
Yeah, like basically at the table I'm fine because it just feels like our friends and there's some
Yeah.
cameras around.
Yeah.
But like it's
You're all Jim Morris.
But I think I'm the only one that's like professionally done
Okay.
theater
Yeah.
Okay.
since like college.
Got you.
Sarah
Yeah.
professionally does
AP.
AP, but not
Yeah.
Okay.
stage theater.
So we are at Gamehole Con 11 here in Madison, Lion Energy Center. You're going to be performing a little bit more this weekend. Yes.
No,
No,
I
I
think
think-
we're
That's it?
we're
our-
done
our
for the
performance
weekend.
that we just came
Man.
from with our last one.
I
Yeah.
know.
Well,
we were going to do one more show, but the scheduling just got really
Okay.
wrecked.
Yeah.
All right.
That's always the thing.
Well-
a lot of the things that people don't see behind.
So since people here can't see you again here,
Sure.
tell our audience where they can see you next.
Live, probably here again next. Well, GaryCon.
Gary
Yeah.
Con next, and
Gary
then
Con
but
Club, yeah.
every week.
Every week on YouTube, we drop our episodes at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then also the podcast goes live at like 4 in the morning on Fridays.
We have some people
Okay.
overseas that use it as their morning commute and
Yeah.
requested us do it early.
Okay.
So we just,
We did that.
Yeah. yeah.
And then you can follow us on Facebook, Insta,
Excellent.
X. And then we do also have a Patreon.
Okay.
If you join our Patreon at a certain level, we do have special episodes, behind the scenes stuff. We do 0 sessions for all of our character builds. And then you also get special access to our Discord where we chat with
We
you.
chat a lot. We actually,
Nice.
I think that
Okay.
we have 3 or 4 fans that flew out to hang
Wow.
out with us this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
That's
But that's
really
Which
all-
is
that's
awesome.
really
always-
neat.
It's really fun every, we
And
go
so
out to
weird to
dinner
think
and hang
about.
out. Yeah, and, like we did an escape room with one of the guys earlier this morning. And
Nice.
it was a
Well,
lot of
good time.
fun.
I am really glad that I got to meet you guys, and I
thank you guys
regret
so much
not
for having
seeing
us.
you sooner because
Also,
it
I
sounds
do want
really
to throw out
awesome.
real quick, if you're searching for you on YouTube, who are we searching?
Oh, yeah.
Theater of the Mind Players should come up
All
right
one
away.
word?
All one. Well, there's spaces in that. Our
Yeah.
website though is theatermindplay.com.
There we go.
With the RE because
yeah,
we're
The,
pretentious.
the pretentious spelling.
All right. Well, Rob,
All right. I want to thank you very much for watching this episode of Guys, Games, and Beer. You can check us out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. You can check us out on YouTube at Guys, Games, and Beer. You can also check us out on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Guys, Games, and Beer. Check out the Dankest Memes by Master Memetology. I'm too old to say dank. Anyway, Master Memetology, Dallas.
Boss you around. Say Dake if you wanna.
Thanks, Blair. All right, we're out.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you guys so much.
Thanks so much for-